Hello everybody, this is day 2 of lockdown in Spain. Dum dum dum. Please join me for my psychic live. If you have any questions, please do feel free to ask. I'm just going to wait for some people to come online, if they're going to come online at all. If you'd like a private reading with me after this, then please go to my website www.psychic.co.uk. I'm going to be online for the next half an hour or so. So how has it been for everybody? Hi Mandy, how are you? Hi Sara, back again for more. I am going to talk about something really specifically today that's just come to light, because I think it's really, really important at this time. And the thing is communication, because to be fair, communication is the answer to good relationships in general, whether it love, friendships, business, and how we express ourselves can come across, is how we're feeling is how we express ourselves. And hi Nikki, hi Barbara. So it's all right, I've just had a bit of an experience. I'm just slightly wound up. So I've come on air slightly. So this is my Scorpio side coming out. Going to be late. So hello to everybody tuning in today. I'm just going to have a look at what is going on today. Then I want to talk about communication and how important it is in this time of lockdown, because we are stuck with who we're stuck with. If you're on your own, then you just communicate with yourself, which is great. And actually, that is the first port of call. It's understanding yourself in the best way, so you can express yourself in the best way. Hi, Olivia. Hi, everybody. The feeds are coming up with all these names, so I'm so glad that you're all on. And if you've got any questions, then just after I've done this, then we can... There's a dog sniffing out the door. 1 minute. Come on, quick. That's it. Oops. Oh, sorry about that. I didn't realise he'd gone. Yeah, I know. Mum left you. Oh my goodness. Right. Okay. So we are joined today with 3 cats. Winnie's actually asleep right now. So pray that we're going to get through this without. Let me have a look at what's... Hi Sarah, the UK are advising not to go out into bars and restaurants, but we are not being told to close. Do you think we should close our business? Well, whether we should or should not is a question really for everybody. Do you think we should? If we're all going to get through this time together, then I think we all need to comply, because otherwise it isn't going to actually work. And if I had a restaurant, I know that you need to earn money. I know you need to keep your livelihood. But at the end of the day, if everyone's staying in, then no one's going to come in. So I think that's probably the answer, is do what you feel for your own safety, your own health. Because especially if you've got a restaurant, that's where, viruses are spread, that type of establishment, bars and things like that. And I know, sorry, I've got a bit of makeup in me. I don't wear makeup very often. Oh, I've got a bit of hair. What's going on? Yes, we're all using the internet now. Oh, this is about the connections. All right. Okay. Sorry, Olivia. Olivia was just saying the connections are great. I think it's come back on now. So yes, so the question about the bars and restaurants, I think you've got to... I think at this time we have to let go of the money quantity, although because people liken money to value, but value is actually in happiness, which brings the money. And if you're ill and you're unhappy, then you're not really going to be much good to yourself or to anybody else. And if you do end up ill and you're off for 2 weeks anyway, then you may have to close your establishment. So look at it, do your best to sort of weigh up the pros and cons. But to be honest, if everyone's off the streets, there's going to be no one coming in anyway. So especially for people in the UK at the moment, and I already, after talking yesterday, there's already this push coming in of, a wave of almost it's coming, the lockdown's coming, and I think you need to be prepared. I think it's going to come all of a sudden, and there's going to be legislation, and boom, it's all going to shut down. Olivia's back, good. So be ready and take it seriously. Okay, anyone who's not in Spain, do take it seriously. I'm taking it very seriously. I've only been out to walk the dog, and you know, as far as food concerned, I remember we were thinking, oh no, we haven't got this, we haven't got that, and you start thinking, oh, I haven't got this. Oh, you think about what you haven't got, but actually it's time to look at what you have got. So I said, let's not go to the shop, let's just use what we've got, you know. Oh, yes, if everyone's on the street, off the streets, how can I meet my lovely partner face to face? Well, you know, it could only be 2 weeks. Don't worry about it. You never know. They might come knocking on your door asking for a slice of bread or something. So let's just look at today's weather. The weather out here is very nice. It's been a bit cloudy the last couple of days. And then I'm going to talk more about the communication situation, because I think it is really, really valuable. It's interesting because say be young, be free, have fun, celebrate, be positive, let go, and being incarcerated or isolated doesn't, for some people, doesn't feel very freeing, but I feel really free because like I said yesterday, it feels like a pause button has been put on life, and it's like everyone stopped. So finally I can just, it's like a magic spell where you can just go and just literally freeze everybody, you know, like the Sleeping Beauty, and everyone's asleep for 100 years, but you're still walking around going, okay, well, while you're asleep, I'll just get this done, then when you wake up, it'll be like magic, you know, and that's what I feel at the moment. So I'm getting loads done. I don't know if any of you saw my list today. Hi Julia, hi Holly. Right, so let go of the doubts. I feel like doubts are starting to shift because everybody's now getting involved in this world dilemma. You'll find it will go into crazed panic, and then it will just start dying off. And then next year, everyone will go, what was that all about? Oh, is that pigeon flu? Was that, you know, SARS, whatever, you know, it'll be another thing. But I think probably it will be a bigger deal because actually the world's sort of shutting down. But remember, this is coming from a higher source. This isn't just about, you know, a disease. It's a disease we've created, guys. This is our own virus. This is how we put things out there, which takes me back to communication. So anyone moving house, God, if you're moving house, this could be a bit of a difficult one. I think what I'm saying here is not necessarily moving house, it's about moving forwards, but especially I get the sense is some people out there having time to think about a purchase. They're all excited about it, and now they're being given a bit of time out. They're thinking, is this really what I want? Because they're looking at the fundamentals of life and what's more important, actually what they need, not what they think they need, or what they want, not what they think they need. Right, I'm just going to pull a card here. Okay, detach. Work on the spiritual level. There's messages coming today, guys. You might hear an important message. I'm getting people trying. It's a little bit like, this is going to sound really, really a bit negative, but it's like, you know, if you sort of thought you only had days to live, it's like, who do I tell I love them? And I really think that that's important right now, is don't waste time being angry or shouting like I was being angry anyway a few minutes ago. It's really not worth it, not in the big scheme of things right now. And if you've got something to say it. Yeah, I'm excited, Olivia, about the change. So they're saying let go, stop holding on to the pennies, stop thinking about the money side of it, because the money comes from love. And if we're all loving each other, then can you imagine when you love yourself and then you're loving everybody else and everyone's loving everyone back, how much more could be made? That's why we're having issues with financial burdens, with, you know, scarcity and everything, because we're not connecting, we're not communicating on the right level, we're not understanding ourselves, we're just working in fear, we're reacting in fear, and we're doing what is frightening us. Fear creates a reaction, you know, to everything. So I'm shuffling these cards, but there's nothing flying out. Come on, tell me something. Okay. Oh, there you go. Oh, and we got the death card again. Look, The end, it's the end of a decade. Who knows that song? So we've got the Knight of Cups. So this is like a really sort of emotional unicorn. This is just for me. This is showing that messages are coming of love, that we need to expand our dreams. We need to, this is going to sound a bit strange, live in the never never I've got. Yeah, of course it has, Sarah. Yeah, I get that. Sarah's pointed out that, you know, since losing her parents, everything has changed. And that's the thing, you know, there's a lot of loss here. So anything could come of this. I feel like really important messages could come from people we love, and, you know, feel free to share them. And this is, you know, basically telling everyone to let go, stop hoarding, stop holding on. The amount of messages that I'm seeing at the moment of people, you know, being afraid because of other people's fear. So what they're doing is they're afraid, so they panic buy and they're buying everything, which is far too much for 2 weeks. And the reason that we get like this is because we've got too much option, you know? I mean, if we're here to survive, you'd just eat what was in the cupboards, wouldn't you? Really? You just have whatever was on offer. You make it. This afternoon, I'm going to take whatever's there and create some really, really good healthy meals. Okay. Now, maybe that's going off a particular diet I wanted to go on, or maybe it's, you know, taking it slightly off the track just for a little while. That's okay, because as long as it's nutritious, as long as it keeps my mindset good, as long as, you know, I sleep well and I can do my job, and, you know, I can still be creative, and that's all good, you know. And as far as exercise can go, well, yeah, actually, I'm not doing as much, but I think I might just run up and down the stairs a few times. Luckily, I live in a 3-floored place, so I could just run up and down. Just whether I can be bothered. But yeah, lots and lots to do. People are being blind right now to other people, so start opening your eyes. So has anybody got a question here? Hi Paul, lovely to meet you. Yes, Jill, I know you love your unicorn. So there's celebration to be had. I feel like this is a time to look at the good times, take some time to look at some memories, remember what was good, remember the importance of connections and what they're all about. Because if we want to progress, we need to find a way to communicate properly. We need to find a way to work together. This isn't just about one person, you know, and all this he said, she said stuff is such a waste of energy. And quite frankly, I'm just not doing it anymore. Can't be bothered. Right. So we've got the hangman, which is showing restriction again. Cheshire Cat, there he is. But it's also about looking from a higher perspective. So it seems to be all the messages are coming through very, very similarly today. I feel like relationships could become more flowing, but it's also the focus on flow. So if you're going through a situation where you are arguing because you're stuck together with somebody you don't want to be with, you know, this is a good time to learn to readdress the flow and what has been going wrong, because being stuck together, suddenly you've got to face each other. It's like being stuck on your own. You suddenly have to face yourself. You're isolated with yourself. So that's all you've got, you know. It's like, do you want to argue with yourself? It's okay. Just listen, you know, be honest, be truthful, put it out there and communicate clearly. I'm using communication a lot today. Oh, if you just knew what I'd done. Okay, right. Has anyone got a question for me? Anyone got a question here? So I'm just looking through these. No. Come on! 14 people watching and no questions. It's going to be $7 for this. What you got? Come on. Don't be afraid. If you want to come on screen with me, you can as well. I think I can bring you on screen. I'm not sure how to do it on my iPad, but I've done it before. No questions. Okay. So, where is my man? Where he is, Olivia. It's where he is. It's a very deep set. Oh, why is deep set? Deep set man. I'm seeing quite a strong, rugged person with dark hair. He looks like he's connected to farming or the fields. He's an outside worker. Hi Zoe. I just seen this man, this rugged man, sort of coming out the corn. You know, he's sort of appearing, and he'll come when he's ready. He's a hard worker. He's intelligent. He's down to earth. He's not English, which is okay. He speaks English, but he's not English. Yeah, I'm just seeing he's got a place. He lives in a place surrounded by fields. There's a lot of corn, a lot of like big grass. You know, there's a lot of big grass around here, and he works outside. He's got a nice chest as well. You might need to know that, but he's pretty hunk. He's a hunk, you know. You know when you say a hunk, he's a hunk. Where is he? He's there. He's around. He's just not showing himself as such. I'm getting that you're avoiding. There's a message coming in for you, Olivia, and it's like a message from either a grandmother or female in spirit, and you're avoiding it, or you don't want to listen. Something you don't want to hear in your own head. And I don't know if you're pushing out certain thoughts, or you're doing your best to train your mind in a certain way. But you're not. They're saying you're not. It's like up here somewhere. Someone's trying to get something when they're telling you. You can't imagine how it's been locked in my hormones. Ha ha ha. I like the description. Yeah, I like the description too. But there's something that you need to not be avoiding it. It's almost like you're avoiding a process somewhere, but it's a mental thing. And I can't. I'm unable to tell you how to break that at this point, but I just know that he will enter at the right time. I'm also getting strawberries. Now, there's probably strawberries in Portugal where you are anyway, but something to do with fruit and veg. But he's got a nice fruit and veg. Okay, let's just say it's got another question. Is my life going to get better soon? Yes, it is, my darling. I know you have. I've seen your posts. I know you've been having a really difficult time. There seems to be a new job for you, Sarah. A new opportunity that's going, and I'm seeing a male and a female and sort of like a working project, something you're doing together. And it feels like it's for the good of all, like some sort of charity project or some sort of fundraising of some kind. And I can see sort of posters being done and this kind of launch process, but it also looks like a centre of some kind that you're working in. And it just feels, I said job, but it feels like some people might be voluntary, or you're starting up something. Through your grief, you will start shining. And it's really funny because I'm seeing a male with like a wand, and he's like drawing you out. He's drawing your energy up. So he's like, I think he's just lifting your vibration, but he's also opening a channel up to, for the light to come back in. And I can see light just moving through your body, and everything starting to become more restored and a lot easier. And it's like just seeing you just wake up one day going, actually, I'm ready now. I think I'm through this. Just let go as much as you can. I know it's not easy because you want to hold on so much in your grief, but you're not letting go of them. Okay, you're not letting go of your parents. They're still there, and they're still going to be hanging around you for as long as you need. But just relax a little bit, because you know the flow will be a lot better. I'm hoping that makes sense for you, but there is opportunities coming, my darling. Okay, you're helping your good friend. There's something quite creative from this work that I'm seeing for you. So it is, and new friendships, and just a sense of like everything was worthwhile as well. I'm getting August as well. That is going to be important. Okay, hi Anna, I bought a ticket to Mallorca for my 70th birthday. Will I go with my daughter from New Zealand? When are you going? Oh. I wouldn't. I'm feeling not in the next month. Or you know, I think there's going to be an option for you to change your ticket. So I'm not sure how that would be if your daughter's coming. She's coming from New Zealand. I do see you together somewhere. So I'm wondering if it will be delayed. I can see you standing at an airport looking at the flights and thinking, oh, you know. And I don't know if this is just a sign that you're looking and you're questioning whether you're watching to see if something's going to happen or not. And that could be what I'm seeing. But I do see you hugging her. And I do see, you know, this lovely warm connection. So if you're not together. Oh, the 8th of the 5th. Okay. Do you know what I think it's more to do with? Is that she may not be able to get from New Zealand. I don't think it's actually going to Mallorca. But I do see you embracing, maybe it's just a delay that I'm seeing of some kind. Maybe the plane's delayed, or you're just concerned, because it's like, it's very much what I'm seeing. It's like when you're looking up, you know, at the boards, what's departing, what's coming in, what's delayed, but it looks more like sort of a train station actually. So just take those images because it will make sense. But I don't think you have to do anything just yet. But plan for any eventualities, because I feel that the virus is spreading in certain directions. We've obviously got it the worst here at the moment, like Italy did, but then it's going to move around. So you can calculate it probably. Is there another question? Anyone got another question? I do see you connecting those, so I think there will be a trip, or there will be some sort of connect. It's not all over. Hello. So this is a time of growth, guys. I can see people juggling their money, checking out their bank accounts, thinking, can I pay for this? But then there's some like lucky little strokes of luck which actually work out sort of in your favour. Maybe delays of having to pay things. I know in some cases there's interest rates being dropped, that kind of thing. You know, obviously in different countries. I know in England at the moment they're doing some sort of big government fund, but I'm not sure that's going to cover everything. I can see quite a lot of angry people saying, what about me? What about me? And it seems to always be the middle class that gets affected here. Because obviously they're looking at the people that are unable to do anything, real vulnerable to first. And then I feel like somehow the people that have got the most have got more, I don't know, more control somehow. And then you've got the people in the middle class sort of almost like have to tick all the boxes, which is generally easy. But I think that's going to make some changes as well. I can see Boris Johnson looking a bit tired right now, looking a bit stressed. Hang on, I've just got to get myself comfy. There's too many animals here. It's crazy. Look, now I'm on a wonk. I'm on a wonk. So is there any more questions that anybody's got? A lot through this time, you know, this is when we've been held back for the first day, right? So the first day it's all like, oh, this is fun. Everyone's sending funny memes, whatever they're called. Sorry, I'm not that big on that. You know, and everyone's keeping everyone alive and, you know, thinking, yeah, I'll just get drunk, or I'm drinking all my stuff, you know, and all these funny jokes and that. And then I feel like today, this is where some of the fear is really starting to settle in with people, and the actual reality of being shut in for 14 days. I mean, some people are shut in for years, aren't they? But, you know, there is this sense of, you know, the fear starting to set in. But what's happening, and it's not, it's not the fear, general fear of actually what's happening. It's what's happening that is triggering our own inner fears. So this would be a really good time to address that. You know, what are you afraid of? Because fear, you know, creates greed, creates all of this stuff, you know, these negative sides of us where we're sort of afraid everything's going to be taken, you know. Our life's over. Oh my God, we've got to stay indoors. You know, and you know the positive thing about staying indoors? We've got a roof over our head to stay indoors. Can you imagine if you were outside right now and you didn't have a choice? Not only here you get fined, but you know, you probably catch something. So, you know, try and do your best to look at the positives. Whenever your mind starts going on overdrive, you think, oh my God, what am I going to do? You know, look at what you've got. You know, keep reminding yourself. And again, go to the cupboards and look what you've actually got. What could you make with one egg and some baked beans? Fear is also calming people down a bit. People starting to let go more and just accept and hopefully trust. Yeah, because at the end of the day, we're all in this together. You know, nobody is... You know, luckily we've got the internet, we've got telephones, we've got all of these things where we can actually interact like this. I mean, if this had happened 30 years ago, can you imagine how much more isolated we'd all feel? Not even 30, 40 years ago. Well, let's go back to the 80s, you know. where there wasn't, or there wasn't any digital watches, back in history. How would we have dealt with it then? Probably would have done all the things we could do now because we didn't have the choice. Now we've got the choice, it's creating more fear. Yeah, there's always someone worse off than themselves. You're right, Sarah. There's if you've got a shelf, if you've got a packet of rice, that's more than someone has got who hasn't got a packet of rice, okay? You've got a bit of toilet roll. There we go down that road again. But it's the truth. And I think that if you can live in that gratitude, that will overcome the fear, because as I spoke yesterday, it is impossible to have two thoughts at once. Okay, you can think about fear, or you can think about the positives. Up to you. It's your choice. You have control over that. The sun is going to shine, guys. It's funny because when I'm like looking into this, I keep seeing this sort of like new dawn. It's like suddenly at the end of a nuclear war. Where everybody's been hiding away in their little bunkers, and they all come out and go, the virus is gone. We can finally rebuild. And that's what I see, is this rebuilding, these reconnections. But we all need to remember, not to bring us down or to dwell, but remember what we have and how lucky we were during that time. And and to be honest, it feels, the camaraderie that's happening at the moment with friends around here and people that I'm linking up with, and the fun, we're making light of stuff. But it's to keep our energies up. It's to keep that vibration up and to not be afraid. So any more last questions? Because I need to go back to work. I'm on the circle today. And amongst other things, have to deal with a few communication issues. Hi, Patricia. How are you? I love your positivity, mate. Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. I had so many things planned today, but just before I came on, I had this, this experience. And if you're watching, that's wound me up. Oh, Jackie, you've got a question. Great. What's your question? What is your question? I know we've got to type our questions first. I can't believe all these animals have gone to sleep. Hi, Kerry. How to best use my gifts now to serve? I would say through healing. You've got healing gifts. So to be there to enlighten people, maybe to encourage them to understand how to look beyond the darkness and into the light. If you are a light worker, if you have... Hi, thank you. If you are that way inclined, yes, Mandy, I will. Thank you. Yeah, you too, Sarah. Bye. Hello. If you're that way inclined and you're a light worker and you have healing abilities, then take some time through meditation to send out some love to everybody. Maybe connect with some other healers, some light workers, and all at the same time meditate. Do you remember that long time ago with Beckham's gold football shoe or something, and everybody healed him together or something? It was, there's got to be method in the madness, right? And I do believe that. I believe that if you've got a strong enough power, intentions to put it out there, anything could happen. And I just think, this is encouraging us to work together and to give and receive in the right way. And I feel that, yes, I think your gifts can be used at this point, literally, to just send out light, a few times a day or when you're meditating. But the other thing is, if you've got a craft, if you've got a product or something you can work with, use this to create something new as well. What people might want, for instance, if you have a product that helps with, is a aromatherapy product, or it's a, alternative healing product, maybe come up with something that could help combat this type of thing in the future, because there will be more. This isn't the only thing, and this virus could become a great big tree of strains, rather than just one branch. So it's, so use this to create something amazing, to put yourself, out there, to put what you've got out there as well. And I don't mean so you can make money, but because people are more open, and you may be able to serve more people than you have done before. So that would be my advice at that point. Do you feel you're gaining more energy in your healing since this has happened because more people are feeling so? Yeah, I do. I'm spending more time working with my energy fields, opening up more. I feel my dreams are just crazy. I find that I'm stopping in the middle of the night in my dreams and sending out, talking to people's higher selves, doing an awful lot of stuff. It's one day I had so much energy. I was up at 4 and I don't think I went to bed till about 9 or 10 at night, and I was absolutely, you're welcome, Jackie, absolutely buzzing. I mean, it was just the most, it was like someone had, I was just completely filled with this natural energy. And I was lying in bed before I got up that day, and I could actually feel, and for some people out there, it was like my body was expanding in 1,000 meters each way, and I was able to sort of link into, I was seeing myself touching, putting my hands on my animals and seeing their past lives. I was just like, and I was like in this sort of dream state at the same time, half asleep, half awake. And I just feel like we are the light, we are the channels, and that we need to link up and trust more, because we are in effect the teachers. So as you do, you teach, you are an example. We are all walking examples of how we can be. And even if one person gets something from that, even a hug or a bit of a nice word or something like that, then, it will help everybody, it will connect somewhere along the line. That's my belief anyway. Even though I still get angry. I was just thinking, I'm really glad I did this, because I was so wound up before I came online, and now I'm like calmer, so that was really good, and now I'm feeling the love again. It can work. In answer to your question, Denise, because it was you. So has anybody else got one more question, because I really need to go back to work, or if you've got something to add to all this, because I just think this is quite a nice meeting every day. I don't know if anyone read my latest blogs, but do keep up to date with them, because there's some messages in there. We are all just human, and anger is part of it. Yeah, exactly. Hi, Gemma. Yeah, we are. I was talking to someone the other day, and we were talking about being angry. It isn't a bad thing. It's part of us. If anger was something we shouldn't have, then we wouldn't have been given that emotion, would we? We wouldn't experience that emotion. It's there for a reason. And the way I look at it is, when you feel anger, you release it, and then it rebalances. We need these extreme emotions to see how to rebalance, because if we didn't have them, then we wouldn't know what balance was. Okay. Yin and yang, and I know most of you already know that. The blog that I wrote today was about fear and how you release it, and I will say to people, feel the fear. Let the emotion, feel the fear, feel the feelings, allow them to come up, because the more you push it down, the more you're avoiding it and you're not acknowledging it. And really, all that little fear is just going, hey, listen to me, I feel really afraid, listen, I need acknowledgement. And then once it's acknowledged, it just goes, all right, then thanks. You noticed I was here. Because really what you're doing when you're suppressing your emotions is saying, you're not good enough. You're not important enough. I'm not going to value you. I'm not going to value my anger. I'm not going to value my happiness. I'm going to value anything. If you really truly love yourself and value yourself, you will value every single emotion that you have and who you are and how that makes you. And if other people are unable to see that or to respect that, then maybe they're not worthy in your life. Okay. And if something is meant to be, and I'm telling myself this now, if something is really meant to be, it will be, and there is nothing that we will be able to do to stop it, as in this virus, except listen to the message this is giving us and work with it, and then it will dissipate. We are acknowledging it. Okay, so think of this virus like a feeling or an anger feeling. It's like it's come up, and if we all ignore it, okay, and then don't comply because we think we're invincible, and it's like, well, it's not really happening to me, it's over there in Spain, or it's over there in Canada, or it's it's not really happening. Yeah, it does. It's like watching it on TV. We just go, oh, that's bad, isn't it? Oh, let's go and have another drink, let's go and have another big meal. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Yes, Gemma. And, but if we acknowledge it and we realise, because that's what it's doing, it's going, hey, I'm actually quite dangerous, I can kill you. But how many people it's got to kill before we start taking care of ourselves? I had a conversation with my mother, who's 85, and I know in the UK they're stopping people going out at 70, and she said, well, I'm just going to go to Aquafit. I was like, really? Yeah, I'm going to Aquafit. I said, but why are you going to a hot, sweaty pool and it's busy there, everyone's touching, there's steam going, why would you do that? Why? Because she thought she was invincible. And she said to me, but I'm healthy. I'm healthy. I might be old, but I'm healthy. Doesn't matter. It's your time. It's your time. So I suppose saying that was your time, you might as well go to Aquafit. But the thing is, it's this sense that if we need to acknowledge the dangers, and I don't mean go away in fear and think, oh my God, it's going to happen to me. It's just safeguard yourself. Just do what you're being asked to do. It's simple. Okay. So you're welcome, everybody, and thank you for listening in today. And I will be back here tomorrow, hopefully with a little bit more and less stressed when I came on. But actually, I'm feeling a lot better now. So thank you to all of you, and I will speak to you soon. And please do share this, like it, and if you want a reading with me, then you just need to go to my website, www.sarapsychic.co.uk, and I will speak to you soon. So bye here from lockdown day 2, house arrest.